Hi students, I welcome you all to new video lesson from our 10th English textbook, First Flight, Unit 1, A Letter to God. Now, let's know about the author. Gregorio Lopez y Fuentes was born on July 11, 1897 at Lanzarote in the Canary Islands. He first went to sea as a deck boy with his father at the age of 10. As a teenager, Fuentes worked on cargo ships that went out of the Canary Island to Trinidad and Puerto Rico. He also sailed to the Spanish parts of Valencia and Cervellito, South America. He migrated permanently to Cuba at the age of 22. Fuentes, a lifelong cigar smoker, died from cancer in 2002 at the age of 105 years. Theme of the story. This is a story of a hard-working farmer, Lencho. He is expecting a good harvest this year if it rains. The rain does come, bringing a brief happiness. However, a hailstorm follows the rain, destroying all his crops. Being deeply hurt, he looks toward God. Having an unshaken faith in God, he writes a letter to him demanding 100 pesos. This amount is sufficient enough to sow his crop again. He posts it. The postman has a hearty laugh when he reads it and shows it to the postmaster. The postmaster, being a generous man, decides to help Lencho. He gives a part of his salary and collects money from the other employees as well. He sends 70 pesos to Lencho. Lencho's happiness was momentary when he counts the money. He believes that God can't deceive him. It is the work of the post office employees. He writes another letter to God asking him not to send the remaining 30 pesos by mail, as post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Now, let's discuss the lesson in detail. Lencho, a farmer. Lencho was a farmer. His house was the only one in the entire valley. It was on the top of a hill. His fields needed a good harvest. He was looking towards the sky, hoping for a rain. During the meal, big drops of rain began to fall. He went out to feel the rain on his body. Raindrops like coins. Lencho was satisfied. The drops of rain were like the coins. The big drops were 10-cent pieces and the little ones were worth 5 each. Suddenly, a strong wind began to blow. Lencho was worried. Raining of huge hailstones. Along with the rain came very large hailstones. They truly did resemble silver coins. The house, the fields, and the hillside were covered with the white hails. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. So were the flowers. Lencho was sorrowful. They would have no corn that year. Single hope. Help from God. Lencho thought that there was only one hope. It was the help from God. The following Sunday, he wrote a letter to God. He wrote that if he did not help, his whole family would die. He needed 100 pesos in order to sow his fields again and to live until the new crop came. He wrote to God on the envelope, placed stamp on it, and dropped it into the mailbox. Strange address. One of the postmen who read the address laughed heartily and took it to the postmaster. The postmaster was quite a friendly and pleasant man. He too broke out laughing, but soon he became serious. He realized that the sender of the letter had a great faith in God. He didn't want to shake the writer's faith in God, so he decided to answer the letter. Help from the postmaster. The generous postmaster collected money from his employees. He himself gave a part of his salary. He put 70 pesos, all the money he could collect, in an envelope and sent it to Lencho by mail. Lencho's anger against post office employees. Lencho had a firm and unshaken faith in God. He did expect help from God. When he received the money, he was not surprised, but his happiness was just for some moments. When he counted the money, he became very angry. He believed that God could never deceive him. Immediately, he wrote a second letter to God and posted it. The postmaster opened the letter eagerly. Lencho wrote that he received 70 pesos that had been sent by God. He requested God to send him the rest of the money. He asked God not to send the money through the mail. The post office employees were a bunch of crooks. Dear children, the lesson shows three things. Firstly, it shows Lencho's firm faith in God. His faith is rewarded though the helpers are human beings. Secondly, it shows the utter innocence of the farmer Lencho. Thirdly, the lesson gives a message that sometimes even your generosity is not recognized. You may not get any credit for your generosity and kindness, but on the other hand, you may be misunderstood as a bunch of crooks. Okay, students, I hope all of you have understood the lesson. Thank you all. Have a nice day.